Welcome to Daily Rising, Ignite Everyday Excellence. I'm Joan D'Amico, your mental performance mastery coach, here to bring you daily mindset and motivation strategies to fuel your success in every area of life. Get ready to ignite your excellence with today's show. A couple years ago, I had the opportunity to give a presentation for an organization kicking off the new year. And of course, we were talking about goals. In preparation for that, I happened to be sitting down and figuring out what my goals for the year ahead were going to be. And as I was doing that, I looked back to the previous year, the year before that, the year before that, and trying to see a pattern in the goals I was setting. And what I noticed kind of disturbed me, and it made me dig in deep. And it's something that I want you to start thinking about. What I noticed was for 4 consecutive years, I had set the same goal. And the part that disturbed me was I was no closer to reaching that goal in year 4 as I was in year 1. And that happened with a few different goals on my list. And there were a few reasons for that. And I wanted to share those so that as you're sitting down, reviewing your year and figuring out and planning your year ahead, you don't fall into this trap. The first thing, I had goals on my list that I did not continually look at throughout the year. So when the year ended, forgot that I even set it, right? So we want to make sure that when we're setting goals, one, they're important, and that we're revisiting them and looking at them daily, weekly, monthly. We need to be doing that to be tracking our progress on them anyway, right? The next thing, I had a financial goal that I set that it was just kind of random. There was no real reason to it other than it was a goal that a lot of my friends had set. I wasn't tied to it. I wasn't connected to it. I didn't have a strong why that number mattered. And so it wasn't a big deal. The other problem with that particular number was it was so far from where I was. And I get it. We want to set big goals, but it was so far that it seemed impossible. And I wasn't making progress towards it. So I always fell off. I wasn't getting any closer. Another thing that happened, I had goals for a particular promotion with a group I had been working with. But I didn't really care about the promotion. It's just everybody around me was setting that goal. The key when you're setting your goals is they need to be meaningful to you. They need to be important to you. You have to be connected to them. You need to make sure that you're revisiting them regularly throughout the year. If you're sitting down and you're doing professional goals, you might have people that you work with that are influencing the goals that you're setting. That's fine to hear what they have to say if they're pushing you towards something. But if you're not connected to it, if it's not a goal that matters to you, you're going to really struggle getting there. So my advice, as you sit down and you start planning, look at what matters most to you. Are you tied to it? Get really deep and dig into why those particular goals matter. Make sure that they're goals that you are revisiting on a regular basis so you don't forget about them. Because I literally had a conversation with a client yesterday, and she said, yup, I've done that. I did a goal setting workshop at the beginning of the year. By the time the year ended, I couldn't even tell you what I wrote down. Right? So we want to make sure you're revisiting them. And again, we need to be revisiting them so that we can evaluate where we are in the process, so that we can figure out what we need to change in order to get to that goal. Doesn't mean we have to change the goals, but we may need to change some of the habits and behaviors. As you're sitting down at the end of 2024, planning for 2025, or whenever you're sitting down to look at goals, keep some of those things in mind. Hopefully that helps you so that you can not just set meaningful goals, but more importantly, that you can achieve them. Thank you for listening to another episode of Daily Rising. If you enjoyed today's show, drop a review and share it with your friends. Don't forget to check the show notes for a recap of today's message, along with valuable resources and opportunities to connect further and ignite your excellence.